Charl, did you see this one?
What was that?
It's like a video of like the rat race.
It's like people
No, I
chasing
see that.
happiness. Like I was saying, we could do an episode on that. I was saying before, we could do an episode on like.
Well, like this video goes so deep, it's crazy. It goes into like drugs and escapism and all of that.
Yeah, it talks about how basically like we're all chasing happiness, and like
We're
in
all
terms of
chasing happiness, which is like a product that's made by whatever.
companies making
Yeah.
like companies making ads of like, oh, buy these shoes, it's gonna make you happy, kind of thing. So like
Yeah.
in the video, they're showing that like the ads that we're seeing, it says happiness like on the ad, and it's like showing how that's what human behavior
And like everyone's
is doing
chasing
now.
money, and we're all little rats basically that are stuck to a computer. And yeah, like it feels like we're all just a big social experiment, and there's something like
Facts.
controlling us.
Yeah, but people have to watch the Truman Show. If you watch the Truman Show by Jim Carrey, I think it came out in like what?
That's a movie, right? Or is it a...
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Okay.
It's a very, very, very fascinating movie. I saw it in college, but it's if you look at it from a movie standpoint, you'll look at it. But if you understand the underlying message from it, is that at the end of the day, that's what I like about like reality TV shows. We're legit one big social experiment, and that's why you see people have a attraction to shows like Love Is Blind, Bachelor, etc. Because you see people in different arenas or ambiances, and like you see how they interact, and then you compare how you would react in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that life is just one big social experiment where we compare and contrast what we will do in every situation possible.
Fact.
But we should do the toxic relationship, remember?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Toxic relationships.
I got like 10 years plus of shit.
Let
to
me
talk
about no, but I can't even talk about my past relationship. Like it's just
Why
so bad. It was so bad, and it's all me. Like it's not even her; it was me.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a green flag if you can admit that, you know, you were the one that was wrong. Because most guys would just be like, "Oh, that bitch is
yeah,
good."
yeah. Everybody, you should be wrong. If your relationship you didn't do anything. If somebody says, "Yo, in my relationship I didn't do anything wrong," bro.
Yeah, bro. If they say like, you know, the type of guys that are like, "Oh, that bitch was crazy," and like, well, that's just the only thing that they.
Well,
say.
no. That could be true.
It could be true,
but
not
you did something for that to happen.
Yeah,
because you trigger a reaction for it to be crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
and a lot of men don't want to admit that.
Oh, yeah, guys, we can talk about we can talk about sports betting too. Charles, do you bet on sports or no?
Of course, brother. How you think I invest my money, bro?
Okay, you bet on sports?
Yo, let me tell you something. You take, again, I am not pro gambling, but I am pro investing. You take $10, and depending on the platform you have $10 free bets. So sometimes if you're good, $10 or $10 they give me as a credit turns into 500. So what I do with that 500, I invest in the stock market, and that just buys me more shares, and then afterwards I'll know it's 30. So every paycheck I take like at least like $10-$20. I just put it in bets, and I'll do $1 bets, $2 bets, $3 bets to get 300, 400, 500.
Oh, I get it.
And then that gives me like $1,000. Plus, you add that with the money I invest from my paycheck. Oh, that's how you double your investments.
But what kind of bets will turn $1? Is it like parlays and stuff? Like you combine?
Yeah, parlays. Yeah. You have to do like a same game parlay. You have to do like a 10 leg, a 6 leg, or like a 17.
And how often do you win? How often do you lose? On average.
That's a very good question. So I started counting. I stopped counting because for me it was that's when you know you have a problem. But I just look at the dollar amount. I don't look at how many things I lost. So at the end of the day, at the end of the month, I need to have at least over 200. If I have over $200 from like sports betting, nothing to say. So since like when the basketball season's there, I probably lose like 5-6 days. But that one win that takes out all your losses. That's what because it's a parlay. Yeah, that's the shit with gambling. But with football season, that's when you make good money. Football and hockey and basketball,
because I was about to do some wild shit. Like, I don't bet on sports at all, but I was like looking into it and getting informed. I wanted to see like if it was a potential thing that you could make money off of.
Yeah.
And
Yo.
I love like football. Like I love football, and I believe that I can. This may sound stupid, but no. Okay, no. Oh
You
no,
can
it's
predict
bugging.
who's gonna score?
No, not predict who's going to score. So there's over and under in football. And it's basically over 2.5, under 2.5. So you can tell if it's like going to be a high scoring game or a low scoring game. Obviously, there are things that happen, players get injured, etc., etc. But
Yeah.
majority of the time, you can tell if there's going to be a lot of goals in a game or not a lot of goals in a game. And anyways, so I was telling Sasha, like Sasha was with me for this. I made like a couple of predictions just to see what would happen if I did what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was place like pretty significant bets on pretty safe. Like obviously nothing is guaranteed, but it's like pretty safe bets. And so I would have basically placed, let's say, any amount, like let's call it $1,000. Okay, $1,000
Oh my god.
on 5 different games. Okay, I got 4 out of 5 right, and obviously that's probably luck or beginner's luck or whatever. But like that morning, that Monday or no Saturday morning, I would have made like um $11,000 if I had done what I actually wanted to do with the amounts I actually wanted to do, because I got 4 out of 5 right. But I didn't do anything. I didn't. So this is just hearsay. This is
yeah.
all.
Let me add this in case this is added to the YouTube. Do not gamble your money.
Do not gamble.
Do
I
not
did
gamble
not
your
do it. I
money.
did not do it.
I
don't
do
gamble.
not sponsor. I do not encourage this
I've
message.
never.
I do not want to be associated with this message. Do not email me. Do not DM me if you lose money gambling. Invest your money.
Me too.
Invest in money. If you make enough money where you have additional money, you pay all your bills.
That's right.
You pay your girlfriend a nice restaurant, and you have additional money that you could blow money. Look and invest
like
that money.
1%, 1 to 5. No, 1% of your income could go there, but not more. So, yeah. Anyways, I didn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. And but it's just crazy. Like imagine making that money on one morning, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man, but I'll say this because it's like nothing pains you more than like you being right on everything.
And then you're wrong.
And one thing goes wrong. Yeah. That's the story of my life. Everything goes right. Yeah, one thing doesn't go right, and then you lose all your money. So for me, if you want to gamble your money, you'll have a better chance of finding live in Vegas than you would doing this parlay. So
facts.
At that point.
Oh no, it wasn't parlays for me because I wouldn't do a parlay. It's too like that's not likely to happen. Like a parlay of 4
what's
games.
A parlay?
Like when you bet on multiple games, multiple things,
but they all
have to go right.
They all have to go through.
Oh Jesus!
So but you win like so much if that happens.
Let's say there's like 11 different things that need to happen in one game for you to like cash out all your money.
Yeah.
But the winnings are bigger. So like let's say for example like at one time like a parlay was like 18 like parlay. 20 cents gave you like 2K.
Yeah, that's what.
One time I did like a $2 parlay, it gave me $1 million. So if you like sometimes it's like $1, like I just need to be right that one day.
Yeah, facts. It's like the lottery.
And like I get $1 million.
Yeah,
facts. Don't catch me outside, but I'm a fucking.
Because literally you have to predict like let's say 10 out of 10 things. They all have to be right, or else you lose.
And sometimes they give you the option to like cash out early. So that's what I normally wait for. Like you'll cash out, take my money, and then I invest my money. Again, I sponsor investing. And then afterwards you just repeat.
Yeah. But the funny thing about it is like the 4 out of 5 bets that I would have won. So if you win 4 bets, that only allows you to play 2 more times, if that makes sense. So it's like you have to win 4 times to be able to play twice. So obviously you're gonna lose. Like it's made for you to lose.
There you go.
And like there's value in the odds and stuff. Like I've researched.
Because people don't understand that like gambling is maths.
Yeah.
There's a line in Vegas that says the house always wins, and that's for always. Because even when you do win. One time, like I was able to cash out, like, but the thing wasn't working, so I wasn't able to cash out at the amount I wanted. So they say it was a technical problem, but doesn't always happen like that,
Apparently, sometimes they also cancel bets, like for no reason, or they reduce your limits and stuff like that.
Like let's say if you have good odds and you gotta make a good couch, they're gonna say,
Like
odds
these companies
updated.
don't want you to make money, you know.
Yeah,
It's like,
odds updated. So then whatever you're supposed to have, it reduces to something lower.
Guys, I hate gambling culture. I hate lottery tickets. I hate all of this shit.
Yo, lottery tickets, biggest scam. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that.
Lottery tickets is a tax on stupid people.
You know, I'll say that because especially people who buy. Because like my grandfather like probably pays lottery tickets like every week for like the last 30 years. He probably won 10K. But if you look at the amount of money he spends on lottery tickets, bro, he spent over 10K out minimum. But so you don't even break even on like on that shit. So you know what? So sometimes, like I say, if you have fucking money, do it. Most people are struggling, so you shouldn't even be investing. And if you think that like one lottery ticket is gonna change your whole life, a lot of people that win the lottery do go back being broke. So it's not even the issue of having money; it's the issue of not understanding what y'all do with that money. Because even if I do win the lottery, I'm still going back to work the next day. Like a meal is not enough for me to
100%
to do all my shit, you know.
But you know what's messed up? It's like when somebody gets money from a lottery ticket, then they're like they know that it's possible to make money from it. So then they put all of their money back into it because they're like, wait a minute, I won money from this in the past.
Yeah,
but even
I'm
if
gonna
they
keep
don't,
buying lottery tickets.
Typically, people who play lottery are people that don't know how to handle money. Typically, and so when they win it, there's a statistic that say that most of them lose it.
Yeah,
no matter what the amount is, because they have no money management.
You don't have the
skills.
discipline, the knowledge.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Because when you can't manage money, you have no use for it.
Because back to that thing with Jay-Z and the dinner, like it's true. If someone gets 500K, like of course everyone wants the 500K, but if you don't know what to do with it after, you'll spend the 500K eventually. But I would still take it over.
People look at me like I'm dumb.
I'd still take the 500K.
Jay-Z, I saw a tweet that says Jay-Z will ask me when I take the 500K.
Wait, what? What?
There was a tweet that said Jay-Z is going to ask me when did I take the 500K.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah, I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, facts.
There was the video they ask one guy, I don't know who it is, and he's like, man, fuck Jay-Z, give me no money, or something like that. Like, fuck Jay-Z.
Nah, man, y'all tripping.
I'm dead. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, fuck lottery tickets, fuck gambling, fuck all of that shit.
Yeah, there's
I approve this
stories
message.
like, and there's so many people that you know as well that have these addictions, gambling addictions, and
you can
see it ruining lives immediately. Like
I hated the casino. The casino sucked.
That's what it was. If you
it was
think
the worst experience of my life.
Talk about your casino experience, Sasha.
My first casino experience was horrible. Everyone was like, it was just like a lot of old people sitting by themselves at a machine, looking depressed, and the whole like vibe of the place wasn't even nice. Like I didn't like it. It was just.
It was in Montreal.
It was literally like a couple of weeks ago that she went for the first time.
Yeah, the only time I go to a casino, well, first off, casino on a cruise is fire, but 2 casinos I want to go to: Atlantic City and Vegas. And that's the only time I see myself like actually putting money down because I don't play cards. I don't like to do that shit. Like for me, yeah.
Guys, honestly, like I can live the rest of my life never going to a casino ever again, and I'll be extremely happy.
I agree with you. Like it's not even like for me. Like I want to play in a casino, but I think the ambiance. Like let's say like you go to Vegas.
I really didn't like it.
Yeah, but you went to Montreal.
But that's the Montreal casino.
That's what I'm saying. If you go to Vegas, it's
no.
impossible.
But even the vibe of Vegas, like the stereotype of how Vegas looks like in movies and stuff, it's just not my vibe. You know, like that doesn't appeal to me.
I'm losing out.
I don't know. Like
I promise you this: whoever's watching, I'm gonna drop 20 bands, or 10 to 20 bands if I go to Vegas, bro. Like it's gonna be a fucking what's the one with Mike Tyson? Hangover?
Yeah, Hangover. The Hangover.
It's gonna be fucking part 4 or part 5. I don't care because it's like, what is there not to do in Vegas? You have a basketball team that's gonna come soon. You have a hockey. You have football. There's gonna be F1 that's coming. You have some of the best restaurants, some of the best entertainment in terms of music, other types of entertainment, best food, sightseeing. You know, like Grand Canyons, like a bunch of shit that you just have to do.
That's one trip that I can skip. I don't really need to go there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll go to a beach instead or something. But yeah, anyways, I like casino, like I was just like I actually just wanted to go home. And it was really late and I was like I literally just want to go home. And Chris lost my money.
Relax.
Hashtag respectfully.
It was
Cuz
how much did we play? Like 50?
We played 50? Like we paid 50 each, but I wanted to lose my own money, right? Chris just takes my money, puts it, and then like it was gone in literally a minute.
No, it was more than a minute.
It be your own, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And then like I kept complaining that I lost money, and then like everyone was like, why are you complaining that you lost money? And I'm like, I'm not even mad that the money is gone. I'm just mad that like Chris lost the money and I didn't get to lose it myself. Like I wanted to try losing money myself, you know?
Okay, but we'll go again with Charl and you'll lose the money that you want to lose, bro.
I'll stay home, bro.
I was about to say, speaking of toxic relationships.
Okay, let's go.
I'm dead. How you gonna say I want to lose my own money? The money's lost regardless.
No, but it's just like but it's like if you go to a casino, it's like you're supposed to experience the casino yourself, right? Or like you want to experience playing.
Yeah,
it
like
yourself.
You wanted to play yourself. But that game that we were playing was a bit complicated.
Yeah, that game was like risky too. Like the money was gone in literally 5 minutes, and his friend put a bunch of money too, and it was all gone in like 5 minutes.
Nah, if I go to a casino, bro, I'm playing the slots. I'm waiting who.
That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play slots.
Like somebody told me, like when you go there, you have to wait for the person who's been there the longest. The moment they leave, you take the spot because the chances of you getting a winning is higher than like just taking something fresh.
Okay, guys, I'll go to Vegas if I get to play slots. Like just to go play slots once, and then that's it. You know.
Gang, don't limit yourself, girl.
If you had to try to rate them, like which one would you prefer doing, gambling at the casino or sports betting? Because I feel like with sports betting, you at least have some information like going.
Yeah, sports betting. But what I want to do, maybe it's because I'm bougie. I want to do live sports betting at the Kentucky Derby. When like you be on the horse, and then you dress up. For me, that's the type of shit I want to do. Damn. But live sports betting, I think it gives you a bit more like fun to it because it's like yes, you're watching the events, but you have something on the line. It gives you even more like adrenaline rush. So for me, it's definitely sports betting.
Yeah, I was saying it's cool because it's like you also have something to lose like when you're watching the game. So it's like it makes it like there's adrenaline to it.
You know, especially if it's your team that you like and you bet on the players.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
triple the boost.
Yeah.
Some people like they have their team, right? And I find this stupid, but they bet against their team so that if the other team wins, they make money. And if their team wins, they win.
Oh, okay. So they're happy like when they lose.
I'd still be pissed, man.
I'd be pissed. Yeah, so it's stupid, but yeah.
That's funny.
Did you guys want to get into toxic relationships or what?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Who's gonna go first? I'm not doing
shit.
You have to go first.
Okay, question. How about the icebreaker? When was your first toxic relationship? Like at what age?
I'm not.
Do you have your first toxic relationship?
Sasha?
I've only had one relationship.
Facts.
They say your one relationship was toxic?
No.
Well, I guess a lot of people's first relationship. Am I wrong or what?
Yeah, I think every first relationship has a little bit of toxic in it.
Yeah, mine was extra sauce.
It's just because a lot of people are not mature enough to like fully understand how to even operate in a relationship. That's why.
Yeah,
and
you're
like
a kid, like
especially if you're quite young. Like a lot of people have their first relationships in high school or after high school before they're even 20 years old. You know. So
yeah. I'll say this. I'll say I've been in multiple long-lasting relationships. I think every one of them was toxic until the one I am currently in. Because like I'm not saying toxic like yo shit like somebody beat me up or whatever or you beat up the person, but I think like shit.
No, but there can be toxic behavior that doesn't.
Yeah, there you go. Because I think like
abuse.
I think like just toxic in terms of like communication, in terms of
that's what I was gonna say too.
Manipulation.
Like, yeah, there you go. Emotional, just like when you know the person's trigger points and vice versa. Sometimes it's just a question of being petty. And I think that
for you, who's like you can say who's in the relationships, was it you or was it the other person?
I think it's a mix of both. I think that's like for me, I'm somebody who has like no patience.
Yeah.
So that's something that like I established early on that like once I get pissed off, like don't talk to me. Like I just want to be in the bubble, and especially for me, I'm somebody who doesn't like to be with people who are needy, but I find myself to be sensitive with people who are needy. So
wait, you don't like people that are needy?
No, but I end up being with people who are needy in previous relationships. So it's essentially it's like you don't answer your phone for 2 hours. What were you? Who were you with? Ta 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 ta. But when you bombard people with questions like that, it's like you give me a reason not to answer my phone.
Yeah.
So for me, it's to a point where those things were not toxic for me, but I thought they were too much for me. So for me, I would like just know those things.
So you said when they would ask questions, it would like trigger you and it would make you
not trigger you, but like I don't need to be interrogated by like I was.
Yeah, like if you did
like if it's the police. Yeah. Like for me, it's like, for example, if you take a nap and you crashed out, but like the person doesn't believe you. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. I got my wisdom teeth.
Your phone.
I got my wisdom teeth removed. Okay, my two tops. I was somebody who didn't believe me that I had the wisdom teeth because I wasn't bleeding.
Was your cheek?
Yeah, it was swollen, but it wasn't big enough for the person to like realize that. So I had to take out the little piece of paper in your mouth and show the actual bloods.
Nah,
that was like, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know,
that's a little bit extreme.
You know. So respectfully, I love y'all, but at the same time too, if I had certain situations I knew when they would trigger the person, I'd be like, yo, let me just push on that button because I know it's gonna bother you, and that for me that was even a lot of immaturity, and that's not the qualities that you want to have when you're trying to grow up either.
What are you? Do you give them the silent treatment, or what kind? Like, how do you react?
No, I don't give people the silent treatment anymore. I'll tell you shit if I want to talk to you. That's like for me. Like I think the older I get, the more I realize like the more shit up it is. I tell people now is that I am this way, take it or leave it, and there's certain things I'm willing to compromise on. If I know my behavior is this, or you're telling me is this, and I know it's something I could change, I'll change. But if I know straight up I can't change this, I won't even waste your time. I'll tell you I can't change this, and it's for you to decide if you want to continue this or not.
Facts.
Example, like let's say, like if I get mad, if I'm in a situation where I need a moment for myself, I'll tell the person, yo, I can't talk about this right now. Talk to you in a moment afterwards. If the person says no, I want to talk about this right now, I'll say, okay, well, deuces. Find you somebody who wants to talk about it in the moment. That's not me, and that's not something I know that I can handle, and that's it.
I think that's toxic behavior.
No, if you okay, well, explain.
Because it's like a lot of, I find like a lot of, maybe it's not just men, but I find a lot of men think that like they think that women don't need an answer, but it's like the longer that you leave a woman without an answer, or like without an explanation, or like the longer that you leave a woman without resolving the problem, it's like the woman will start to like pull away, and she's gonna start going crazy, and
I agree with you.
So but it's like
if I'm mature enough to know, like when I talk to someone, I need to talk to somebody in a rational sense. I can't talk with my emotions. If I talk with my emotions, it means I'm bitching. If any rational things comes out of my mouth that is with emotion, it means I'm bitching. So for me, I need a moment to get my composure together, gather my thoughts, know exactly what I'm gonna say, know my sticking points, and instead of having a 2-minute conversation, instead of having a 45-minute, 2-hour conversation, I can have a 20-minute conversation because I know exactly what I want to say and what the point I want to get across. So for me, when I tell people I need to breathe, it's not because I need to have.
I can relate to that though, because me too. Like if I'm really mad in the moment or something's bothering me in the moment, it's like if I talk right now, it's like it's just not gonna make any sense. Like it's just not
exactly. Be good. So for me, I'm not here to have like a 2-hour conversation. I have better things to do, and like this is something recent. But back in the days, I didn't value my time. I'd be willing to have like a 4-hour conversation or a 2-hour phone call. I don't have time for a 2-hour conversation.
Also, like through text, like nothing gets solved through text.
There you
go. You can't ever.
Yeah, because like the people's tone of voices are like
there's nothing on the text. It's just like you don't even.
Like guys, arguing through text is the worst thing ever.
You have like 50% of the information.
I found that shit out the hard way. You know, because for me, like back in the day, like remember when BBM used to be a thing?
Yeah, for real.
And like for me, I don't know about you guys, I hated calling people on the phone. Like I
Me
hated talking on
too.
the phone.
Yeah,
Like for
Me
me,
too.
everything was on text.
yeah.
And
Me
then I was
too.
gonna see you when I see you. But
That's-
back in the day, especially like in college, you didn't have a car, etc. So you had to wait maybe the weekend for everything to be settled. So you had like 4 days of like awkwardness via text, you know.
That's why
So
I think it's like relationships just get better like as you start to age a bit,
As
because
you
like you
age,
can
of course.
actually be with the person instead of like not seeing them for a whole week, you know?
yeah, but I think shout out to technology too. Because let's say, for example, if you're in a long distance relationship and you have like Skype, you have like WhatsApp, you have FaceTime, you have all these different tools disposable for you to actually be able to have like face to face communication, even though it's not
Yeah.
in the person's presence, you know. So I think that's
Yeah.
a big component to the changes. Because for me, and shout out to COVID, because I don't think I would have realized all these things if it wasn't for the pandemic. Like I think
Yeah.
doing a audit of yourself and knowing like your lacks and like knowing the things that you need to work on is important, especially like if you want to advance as a man or a woman, you need to know what the other person is dealing with. And like once you realize that that's are your main sticking points, then that's when you actually clearly says those things. Because back in the day, people used to tell me I'm stubborn, but I didn't believe it. Because I was like, oh, you'll know it. Those are people
Yeah, you have to
overreacting.
accept like what's wrong with you before you're
There,
being
there you
able to
go.
even work on it. It's
There
true.
you go.
Yeah. Would you be able to be in a long distance relationship? Like a real long
like
like the girl lives in British Columbia.
oh hell no, hell no, hell no.
I think it.
Same.
I think
I don't think it would work. I don't think it realistically would work.
yeah, yeah. It depends. It depends because
Like
I
how
don't think
could
it would
that
work
realistically
either.
work?
But if it's a relationship where you're already with the person and they have to go for, I don't know, 6 months
Yeah,
somewhere,
that's a bit
then I
different.
guess you
Yeah.
have to make it work. But other than that, yeah, like if you're starting to date and it's long distance,
Yeah, absolutely not.
no,
Like imagine
Yeah,
you meet someone and they're like, "Yeah, bye, I'm moving to
nope,
Toronto."
but
Toronto, you can go see them every weekend though.
I don't know.
nope.
Cause maybe it's because like I know my love language is like physical touch. Like I need some type of
Yeah, me
like
too.
physical
Yeah.
touch. Like for me, like tell me it's like you're 6 hours away, and that's by plane or by like
I
no.
just know I wouldn't be able to handle that. Like I'm sorry, but it's just not.
Yeah.
That's not. It's just no.
It's like, what do you do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you know, and it's like okay, well maybe it's not appropriate, but it's like sometimes afterwards is like, especially if you're on different like time zones, like how do you entertain yourself when a person's like completely different time zone? Like it's like as if you have like a distant cousin that you just speak to every so often.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like sometimes people like try to argue that it would work, and I think it can work for some people, but like I just realistically don't see how that would ever work.
But
I don't
I
think
think
I would be able
it's
to handle it.
I think it's more common in the States for people to
And
have
I'm
like
sure they're cheating on each other if ever it does happen.
okay.
If
I'm
if
certain.
it goes on for too long, I'm sure someone's gonna cheat.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
one of them is gonna cheat, bro, for sure.
You know,
People cheat when they're not in long distance relationships.
that's why you gotta establish the rules in the beginning.
Mm.
But question, what is the most toxic thing that someone did to you in a relationship? Sasha.
No, I'm actually trying to think, but
Sasha is
Chris,
more
you can.
toxic than my ex.
No, I'm not. Excuse me.
No, because well, like with my ex, it was all me. So with you, it's not me, bro.
Speak on it. It's a safe zone. Speak on it.
It's a healthy relationship, but she shows toxic. She does toxic things sometimes, where it's like accusing me of doing things that I've not done.
But you also accuse me of doing things, so I think it's vice
But when I
versa.
do it, it's a joke. Like it's a clear joke.
No,
You
but
do
me
it
too.
as
It's a joke. It's a
Okay,
joke.
but for the audience, could we have some clarity on like what's happening?
Okay,
there's nothing
basically,
that. No, we're not airing our shit out. But basically, who's looked through whose phone?
I didn't even look through your phone.
Well, I've never touched your phone, so
Oh,
yeah. So whoever
But
looked
see
through the other
that
person's
that was the
phone.
most toxic thing that somebody did.
But also that when there's nothing, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like there was something. If there was something bad, then I'm the toxic one. But if you look through the phone and there's nothing, you look
okay,
stupid.
but now the audience is gonna think that I'm a bad person, but we know what really happened that day.
There's nothing that happened. That's
Okay,
what I'm
Chris
saying.
was
You were
acting
tripping.
sus.
You were
Chris was acting
tripping.
sus. So I was like, Bro, literally his phone is next to me and it's beeping, beep, 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 and I'm like,
I'm
nah,
getting
fam.
messages from the
Bro,
boys,
I didn't even like fully open it. I just swiped down, bro. That's all I did.
Was he dead next to you?
So you know how it happened? No,
was he dead next to you?
No.
No, of course I wasn't next to him. Look what happened. Look what happened. We were at a hotel or something, and then
We're at the
I'm
Four
getting
Seasons, by the way.
I'm on my phone. Okay, Sasha asks like, "Yo, can I use your phone for a second?" Like she wanted to do something on my phone because
my phone died. I had just posted a story, but my phone died, and I was like, I just want to make sure the story came out nice.
So
And
I was
Chris
like, wait,
didn't want to give me
no.
his
I was
phone.
talking to my friends, or it was my birthday. I was answering to people like, "Happy birthday, thank you, blah blah." So I never ended up giving her my phone.
For me, it was like the first time that he had ever like not given me his phone, which I was like, that's sus. Bro. That's a red flag.
I was just like, I'm on my phone right now. Like I'm not gonna give you my phone, anyways.
But me, I was like, please, I just want to see my story, like quick, just to make sure I don't look stupid, you know, because I had just posted it, you know. And then he's like, no, he's like, no, and he like, huh?
So from that moment, Sasha started acting weird. So we get back home. We're in my house now. We're in my bed, and then I leave my phone on the bed, and I'm like, yeah, I have to go pee because I had to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, but just because of how she was acting, I was like, let me just look at the position of my phone. So I look at the position of my phone on my bed, and I'm like, okay, I'll save that in my head. And then I go outside, I come back, phone moved. And I was like, Sasha, where's my
what's the justification for this?
Yeah, what'd you do? Like, it was my birthday. I was answering to happy birthday messages.
I know, but I heard the beeping, and I was like, nah, bro. Like the sound of the notifications was making me go crazy because I was like, I just need to make sure this is not some random bitch on Instagram or something. That's my reasoning. Okay, well, actually, no, I'm not gonna say this. Never mind. But, anyways, basically,
yo, air it out.
Are we airing it out? Like,
yeah, my shit bad too, bro.
No,
my shit bad.
Well, you already exposed me, so I'm gonna expose you. You can cut it out if you don't want me to say this publicly.
Okay.
Anyways, basically, there's a girl that Chris was talking to before me, and he like told me about it at one point, and the girl messaged him saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bro! It's my birthday.
And so no. So I looked like literally right after he kept his phone for me. We go upstairs, and then I look down and I see the girl's name, and I'm like, "There's no way." So that's why I was. That's why I looked at your phone.
And not only did she wish me happy birthday, it's her birthday too. The girl, then like the next day or something. So it's like, oh, happy birthday to you, and that's it, bro. But yeah,
you have to put yourself in my perspective. Imagine for the first time ever, your girlfriend. I'm talking to Charl. Okay, imagine your first time ever, your girlfriend. You're like, oh, can I just see the time on your phone or like something small on your phone? And you're like, and she's like, no, and she like keeps the phone away from you, right? That's red flag number one. Then you go upstairs 10 minutes later and you see her ex or like some guy that she used to talk to back in the day, and you see that's the person that they're messaging. Wouldn't that make you like?
Yeah. No, I'll say this. If the reasoning is justified, like if we said, if the birthday is the next day, I can't be the stalker. Be like, yo, don't text the girl on the or the guy the next day.
And however, I didn't even see that. I didn't even say don't text her. I just said like, that's the person that you're messaging.
However, it's just the optics don't look good in this situation. So I understand both sides.
Exactly.
But there must have been like.
But you know what? Like even right after I looked at the phone, I was like, you know what? This is wrong. And I admit, like the moment I looked at it, I was like, fuck, why did I do this? And I literally put it down. Like I didn't even go through anything.
Yeah.
Swipe down, and I like the notifications were still there. I didn't touch them. You know.
I guess it was just like a trigger.
I think is wrong. And I admit that. And
shout out to that. We like you calling being on the podcast.
I've never touched anyone's phone before.
And it's never happened again either.
Since
so
that. Yeah. That's what I meant. Like I never touched anyone's phone after that.
I hope you're not touching my phone. I don't know if you're
Anyways, but like in my opinion, I think that the situation is understandable. I do believe that it was toxic on my part for not trusting Chris, but it's like I still stand by my reasoning.
But yeah, so anyways, so that's why like with my old relationship, it was all me. It was 100% me. So yeah, that's why I said like, Sasha, you're more toxic. That's the only reason why I said that. It's because I'm not toxic in this relationship at all.
Well,
or yeah, I guess everyone has like their traits, but
everyone has their own. Like everyone has toxic, like slight toxic.
But is it toxic or is it just your personality? Because I think toxic
That's
is
what
when
I
you.
started to believe, bro. Like this year, I've lost a couple of people. And I'm like, maybe it's just me, bro. Like maybe it's just the way
Because
I
for
am.
me, when people say toxic, it's like, yo, shit, you have this behavior with everybody. It's
I guess
like,
it's true. It's within the frame of that particular relationship. So I get what you're saying. It's not like a toxic trait.
No, but I don't think Chris is toxic. It's just like I think there's always going to be. It might be even my toxic behavior that triggers his slight toxic
I'll tell
behavior.
you guys what made me toxic in my first relationship because I think it's an interesting topic to talk about, and it was body count.
yo, fam, I don't want to get started on that, but go ahead. All the two lead the conversation.
No, there's not much more to say. I was like, it was my first person, and she had been with other people, and that just fucked with me.
But I'll say this. I don't want to say body counts matter, but people have to get over the fact that you think that in this generation people sleep with 4, 5, 6 people. Because let's say, for example, you do the math. If somebody lost their virginity at 18 years old and has sex with somebody every 3 months, every quarter, you do that for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, so I think
it's over. Yeah, it's not like they're gonna have one.
There you go.
One
you know, so
like
and that's if you do it every 3 months. I know people who have like a roster. You know, so at the end of the day, we have to get over this like stereotype that like, oh, I'm gonna meet my wife. She has like 4, 5, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You know, like
guys, all girls' body counts are 3.
Shout out to J. Cole. You have to multiply times it by 3.
Times it by yeah.
If ever a girl says the number 3, she's lying.
Whatever number you have that she gives you, times it by 3. Shout out to J. Cole. Shout out to J. Cole.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
That's what he says in the song?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But you know, even when people tell me like, oh, I've never been in a relationship, or I'm just talking to this guy. Lies. Lies. Because for me, I'll say why it's a lie. The moment a girl has feelings for a guy, and it's like, goes beyond like, let's say for example, like talking phase, count as a relationship. Because the moment for me, a woman's emotionally invested in a guy, count as a relationship. Even though there's no title to it, count as a relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that though, because I feel like if you like, even if it's a fling or something, if there was feelings there, then it still kind of counts in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of people cover their asses with that.
Don't let looks fool you too. Like if you make up an image of someone in your mind and then you find out that that's not what it is in real life, yeah, you're gonna lose your shit.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, but that's just like immature men like creating stupid scenarios in their head.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
What's a stupid scenario? Let me hear this. I want to hear this. Because I feel like you base yourself on what you see.
Because guys look at girls that look innocent and think, oh, this girl like has she's only slept with one guy, but then they find out the girl slept with a bunch of guys, and that makes them go crazy because their ego can't handle it.
Yes, I agree with you. That I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like just because a girl looks innocent, that has nothing to do with their sexual behavior. Like that's kind of
it's just because you don't expect it. You don't expect it.
I guess me too. I guess even from a girl's perspective, like you would, if you see a girl that looks innocent, you would think so too. But like that really doesn't define how a girl is at all.
And I think this is a message for men. I think that we need to stop shaming people for that. Because the moment 100%. That like a girl says, "Oh, yo, how's this? You gotta call a slut, this and that," but 5 minutes ago you were interested. So I think that we need to stop shaming women like that just because they don't appeal to you. You can say I'm not interested anymore, and that's okay. Keep it moving. But you have to denigrate women, especially when like girls turn you down. You call her that bitch, that hoe. I think that's very.
Yeah, so many men do that but I think it's because men are the ones that typically like
get rejected.
Or yeah, they're the ones that like go up to girls more than girls go up to men. So they're the ones that face rejection more. So their like reaction to rejection is like, well, I didn't like you anyways. You're ugly anyways.
Yeah. Some guys can't handle it.
And it's like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you see, and that's what we spoke about last time. Is like, like if you like record the amount of times guys get rejected, regardless if you're good looking or not, it's like, you're shooting at least 60%. You know. And I think there was like a video. It's like this guy was like like a dating coach, whatever. And it's like 2 out of 10 women would give him a response, and he was like a professional, like body language, this and that. And also, it was just to highlight, like even if you're the best, your shooting percentage is at 2, 3. So if you're mad ugly, bro, you're in the negative. And I think that's what people like. people carry that shit from like that the younger until they're like 30, 40. So like all that baggage comes with you, and that frustration is let out because you let that frustration out from all the previous people that denied you over to a new person as well. You know.
Fact. Yeah.
But I'll just go back to say the most toxic thing I've done and the most immature thing I've done, and this is why when you have new technology, you have to be mindful of how that shit works. So if people are too young for this, remember back in the day, Instagram used to have your likes or like what people like interacted with you, and what other people used to like.
They were trying to get people in trouble with that. Holy shit.
But like remember the time with like Jen Selter, all these like Instagram baddies, this and that, and like Drake said, I have trigger fingers, bro. I just even if I don't.
Me too. I have that too.
Even sometimes if I don't. Even if I don't have like
me too.
A clue who that is, I'm like, oh yo, aesthetically pleasing, this. But at the end of the day, when you add up like, oh, this person like 11 pictures and they're all the same picture or similar type, for me. And the issue is that back in the day, you were able to screenshot those things. So a lot of those people, so on called friends, would screenshot that shit and send it over to people you're involved with.
You.
Yeah. So you have to like justify yourself every single time. And like,
guys, it's like snap scores. Do you remember like you could have a snap score bestie where like that's the person that you're snapping the most? People used to get in trouble for that too.
Yeah.
That's some sus shit.
Yeah. You know? So at that point, then it's like you explain yourself, you're like, I won't do it again, and then you just like da. But I think
why are you wilding? Oh my god.
I think that's like a lot of maturity, because I think at that time I was like 22, 21. It's like at the end of the day, it's super when it's like, was I doing it just because I was into it, just because like I knew it was gonna cause a reaction? I don't know the answer to that, unfortunately. But that's the type of questions like I ask myself to know. Like,
well, sometimes like we all like secretly have brains of children. Like sometimes if we're told not to do something, we actually want to like subconsciously go do it, and it's like it's such a stupid thing that humans do. But like a lot of people do that. Like if you tell someone don't do this, it's like they actually want to go do it because they're just like, well, you're telling me what to do. You're trying to control me. I'm gonna go do it. And so I feel like it could come from that too, you know, like
you know. And shout out to the last episode. I think that's like once you don't have sexual discipline, you can't just like stay out of that shit, you know. So
guys, you know, Instagram is showing the order of who followed you again, so watch out for that, guys. For all the men out there, or women actually. Okay, because at one point the if you go to someone's followers, you can see who they followed most recently, and they got rid of that for a really long time, but they just re-added it.
Basically, so, Sasha told me I can see who's followed you recently.
No, I didn't. I said that to you.
Did. Yeah, you did. You did.
Exposed. And
no, I actually haven't checked though. I haven't checked. Sometimes like
question.
Like I'm trying to grow as a person, you know.
Question, Chris. If a woman told you, yo, I stalked your Instagram, like before you guys were together, but like stalked it, like you know who commented this and that, is that toxic or not?
Oh yeah,
thank you.
I would say so. Yeah.
What?
Like if a girl said, "Oh, yo, by the way, before we started dating, I like stalked your Instagram."
I guess everyone does that. I guess everyone stalks the other person's Instagram, but you put it in a way where it's like they saw everything.
Like no, like you know, like.
What do you mean stalk their Instagram? Like go through their messages?
No. I believe girls have like a FBI power. I can't prove it yet.
Of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
FBI power. And when they put that power to use, the things they can uncover, only the government can know. But when people tell me like, yo, shit, I use my FBI powers or I know exactly, I'm like, yo, that's some such shit. Because it's like I remember back in the day, you used to have like a squad of like females, and like this was like with like Snap. People used to put a Snap. There used to be like a billboard in the back. You'll be able to like see the billboard. You'll know exactly what restaurant it was. All these fucking maneuvers. So it's like when people dissect your Instagram like that, for me, it's like, yo, I see that as a triggering point, because I'm like, yo, the fuck.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I was at a steakhouse and like the meat was covering the sign. The girl was able to say, "Oh, yo, I went to this restaurant last week. I want to go again." But I'm like, "How the fuck did you even know which restaurant was that?" I put the cover of the plate was like covered. So you must have done like your FBI work to know the name the actual restaurant to tell me you want to go again.
Oh, yeah, no, stay away from these stalkers.
You know?
I don't think I've ever done that. I really don't think I've ever like stalked someone's account like that deeply. That's a little crazy. Yeah, but you know, like if someone's acting sus, then I will, you know.
But what's acting sus?
Hiding, like okay, if a guy purposely does not hand you his phone when you're like, hey, can I just check the time or the weather? That's some sus behavior. Don't worry, we've already resolved this issue. Anyway.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm guilty of that, but I think it's because hashtag growth. Because back in the day, I think, especially for me, like younger, like once you leave like one toxic situation, you bring all that like baggage.
Yeah, you have all
into
the behavior.
The old relationship. So even if somebody asks me for phone, I'm like, no. Because remember that, I don't know if you guys saw that meme, but like Beyonce looking over Jay-Z's shoulder, like, who texted us, babe?
Oh, I think I've seen it, yeah.
You know? And for me, and like Sasha said, when you're like in a young relationship, this and that, for me, like let's say, for example, prior to like 2020, the last like decade, I was in a relationship for like 7 years. So only like throughout those years, I was like single. But if you think about it like that, it's like, yo, you take so much like of that young puppy love into like different relationships that is like, yo, you take some of those behaviors are normal when they're not. When somebody's asking you who texted us and you're like, oh, yo, this person, or you had your phone like that, is like supposed to be automatic. It's not supposed to
but
be.
I understand that like that's a little bit excessive. Like I'm not gonna ask Chris who texted you, you know?
Well, oh really?
You know, okay. You know, I actually have a really funny story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a funny story. So Chris kept getting these random texts from these random phone numbers, and I kept seeing
like you know, like Chinese or like random like.
Where he had, and it was like, hello, it's Jen from something, and I'm like, I kept being like, I'm like, bro, who are these people? So I was like, maybe he's creating like a secret, like it's a code from his side bitch, you know, and she's like,
oh my god,
like that's
I was making up a joke scenario, but I was joking. But anyways,
yeah.
Anyways, but bro, I swear he had I swear the past month he's been getting like 10 like a message a week from like an unknown number saying like, hi, it's Jen and Jessica, we're going to something tomorrow, and I'm like, what? I'm like, who the fuck are these people? So anyways, but no, I don't normally say like, who are you texting, because that's just like that's his own, like he has his right to his own privacy. But like in general, imagine your girl, like you're like, hey, can I just call my mom, and your girl's like not giving you her phone. Like, wouldn't you find that's weird?
It's my birthday.
No
I'm
comment.
answering happy birthday messages.
No comment.
No, I don't even want to talk about the toxic shit that I did, because my shit was
I think
wild.
that there's levels to it. Like obviously people have the right to their own privacy, but then at the same time, it's like if you're like, if someone's showing behavior of trying to hide something, then it's like, to me, that's a red flag.
Yeah, I think everybody has like red flags, but
okay, what are some things that you did in your previous relationship that are red flags for people for girls to watch out for? Like, what can a girl do to avoid you, basically? Avoid me in your previous relationship?
I never clarified that shit.
I'll answer because it's easy. Don't date a virgin guy. Okay, if you've had other people, and if you are gonna date a virgin guy, don't tell them about the other people. But then you're also lying at one point, because he will ask, because he's a virgin.
Yeah.
There you go. The simple question is, don't ask.
So just don't
ask. It's your fault, Chris. It's your fault for asking.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's like, you're gonna ask at one point if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with that person. Like with Sasha, it's so different, because I never want to hear about. I don't want to ask. I don't want to know. Never ever in my life, because I learned, but I had to learn the hard way, the really hard way. And yeah, the really hard way. Well, yeah, because I became crazy.
Yeah, but men are so sensitive. Like, I don't know. I don't think, like, girls actually don't mind hearing about past experiences as much as men. Girls really don't mind.
I think girls have a number.
It depends.
I think girls have like a threshold.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because I think once you start sledding around, I think that's because I'll say this. This might be my ego talking, so we gotta like take this shit out. But somebody told me this: if you know a girl from a small town, and somebody told me this, if you see a girl from a small town, she can change her identity like this. Like nobody knows her, so it's like you have a girl from a new town. Nobody knows of her past experiences. But the worst thing you could do, and it's happened to one of my homeboys, is that you bring a girl around, and everybody around said, "I know this chick from
they know
XXX,"
her.
and she has a reputation as being the girl who's just around. And you might be in love with that shit.
Yeah, that's my worst.
Yeah,
that's probably the worst nightmare for guys.
With girls too. Like it's the same thing. Like if there's a guy that like is known for that.
Not as much though. Maybe like not as much as for men.
Yeah, I think like with guys you think it has your pride is like, yo, shit.
It fucks with your like
yeah. Then you sound good. Because then you start imagining.
Yeah, I don't think girls mind as much, but like still, like if there's a guy that like
I'm sure they
like
mind,
a girl knows, like there's like if there's guys that you know like are, you know, just will kind of sleep with anyone that they see. Like it's just not a good look. So like I don't know, like everyone has their own standards, like I guess I would say, or like whatever. And I think people are allowed to do whatever they want, but like you're also allowed to have an opinion of like what type of people you want to sleep with, you know. So I don't know, if someone is like known for being that type of person, it's like I'm also allowed to not really want to be around those people.
Facts.
So it's understandable, but
also if you're crying every 2 weeks, you should leave your boyfriend or whoever. You should leave your significant other if you're crying every 2 weeks. That's another tip that I can give. And
you're saying that you made your ex cry.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
No, but honestly, I'm glad that you can admit this.
It was so bad. No, but
like I'm really glad that you like it's a green flag that you can admit that you were wrong in this relationship. You know, not a lot of men will be.
Yeah, but I think like Chris said, especially like once you do reflecting on like how you act right now compared to how you were acting before, it's impossible not to say like you were wrong in certain situations. Like even for me, you look back and like sometimes like you're like, shit, was that really necessary?
Like I look back and I cringe. Like that's how much like it's like it's
that's how you were acting. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Guys, for me, it's honestly just like not having good communication skills. Like my communication skills are very poor,
facts.
and and like it honestly comes down to like I think the way that I was raised. Like a lot of my family members also have, not to expose anyone, but like we all know, like it's all we all know that it's the truth, you know. And like it's just like all my family kind of has bad communication skills, so it's kind of like I picked up that habit, and like I'm just really not good at like when there's an issue, I'm not good at speaking about it. When there's actually in any scenario, like I'm not good at confrontation. Like even when I was quitting my job, like I'm the type of person that's just gonna like block a phone number or like put my phone on airplane mode. Like I'll send a text and then put my phone on airplane mode because I just don't want to deal with like stress. I don't want to deal with confrontation. So like my idea of dealing with life is like avoiding life.
You see, I have the opposite. I have the opposite issue. I love confrontation, and I need the confrontation so I can move on with shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, yo, like Chris said, like, well, it's like Sasha said, my downfall in my previous relationship is poor communication. And I don't know if it's me not being a good listener. Well, yes, it was me not being a good listener. And it was also me speaking the way I want to be spoken to and not speaking to the way my partner wants to be spoken to. And I think like once you understand, like, okay, well, I like to be spoken this way. I like things to be clear enough. Let me try and address that. Or is there a compromise? Like, for instance, like people don't use a paragraph for me. Use 4 words, 5 sentences, and then let's get to a point straight. But those are things that you need to be able to communicate with people to be able to address those things instead of assuming things are going to be done naturally and then afterwards you get frustrated over it.
Yeah. Guys, everyone should read what is it called? It's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It's such a good book. It's a really old book, but it's like it talks about like a man and a woman in a relationship, and they talk about like how men should respond to like certain behaviors that women typically do, and then the opposite. And like I swear this book is so like if everyone read this book, like all relationships would be peaceful.
No, I'll say this. There's a book that men need to read. It should be, I don't know, I know some people don't have a bar mitzvah, but it should be a way of passage. Like if you don't read this book, you're not a man. The Way of a Superior Man is the book to read. That is a book.
The Way of Superior
The Ways
Man?
of the Superior Man, yeah. Or Ways to a Superior Man? But that book,
we'll link it for you guys.
Yeah. But that book, if you could read it and understand the passages that I said, it changes your whole mindset of how you think and how you process information as a man. Once you're able to process information as a man and not have a emotional reaction, and you're able to understand, compose, and then talk, you're ahead of most of the men out there. Because I think we're in such a culture where people have such reaction, and somebody said this, and it was beautifully said. Excuse my language, but it's like if you're complaining and you have no plan in place, you're just bitching. And I think a lot of people, that's what we do. We bitch, but we don't have anything in place for us to actually make proper modifications. So you could say, I don't want to avoid any red flags, but are you addressing the red flags that you present to the other person?
Yeah.
So I think those are all things that have to be addressed while you're single, while you're in a relationship, and it's a constant readjustment of things. But I think that if you want to move on in life, it's honing your emotions and knowing when to speak and how to speak properly is probably best. One of the best things you could do, especially as a man going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like another thing that people should do is like go do the quiz about your love languages, or go read about love languages, because like I know some people talk shit about it and say like, oh, like some people don't like to talk about love languages, but I think it's so important to like take the time to understand them and like kind of understand what your partner's love languages are, because everyone likes to show love a different way, everyone likes to be loved a different way, and it's important to know, because like sometimes I saw Jay Shetty talking to his girlfriend, and he was saying that like whenever she asks him like go turn off the light or whatever, and even if she's closer to the light, like he'll go do it, and he's like, the reason why I do it is because I know that that's how she wants to be loved, and so her like love language is acts of service, right? So it's like just having him do these little things for her, that's how she feels loved. And it's like such a stupid little thing to do for someone, but like maybe that's how she's reassured that he loves her, you know? So I think it's really important for people to take the time to like do those the quizzes. I don't know how accurate they are, but like generally you'll know what your love language is. Like if you just read about them, you'll kind of know. And yeah, understand it. Look at like do it with your partner and understand exactly what your love languages are, and work on it. And if the other, like for example, I like to give gifts. I'm a gift giver. That's how I show love. And like not everyone likes to receive gifts. Like I buy Chris things all the time, and he's like, I don't need this. And then I'm like, well, take it, it's my gift, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like he's not the type of person that needs gifts to show love, to like receive love. So like that's something that I've had to like stop doing in a way, because it's like, well, if that's not how he receives love, I need to understand how he receives love and stop buying useless shit that he's never going to use. Because like literally with everyone, like I'm just a gift giver, like that's how I like to show love. So that's something that you know I've had to adjust or like work on, and it's important to understand that.
But that's a very interesting point, and especially for the gift giving, because I'm like that, especially like I don't know if it's a guilty conscience I have, but I'm like, if I know somebody spent X, or maybe it's my ego talking, I have to spend double or at least that. That's how I am. But it's like
I'm kind of like that too. I'm like that too.
But I never ask myself, is that a love language that my partner actually wants, or is that me stroking my ego?
Yeah, because it makes you feel good. Like me,
because it's like
me feel good. Exactly.
There you go. Because I'm like, there was never like a poor reaction to receiving the gifts, but I'm like, I never asked, was that actually a love language? Neither was that just me stroking my ego, saying like, yo, shit, I'm a badass motherfucker, you know?
Exactly. And Chris is like really minimalistic, so Chris doesn't like to own like junk. So like I would always buy him like random stuff that like he's like I have nowhere to put this. Like I don't need this. And like Chris is the most frugal minimalist person I know. So like if I'm buying him a bunch of shit that he's not going to use, it's like for him that does like he doesn't feel love from those actions, right? And so it's true. It's like it's probably us thinking like, oh well,
yeah, it's
I
like
feel
you're doing
good
what
buying
you
this
would
gift.
want someone to do to you, where
it's like
instead
I feel
you should
good
be
buying this gift
focusing.
for him. So it's like I'm buying this because of basically to stroke my ego, so I feel good about myself. So it's true. You have to understand why you're doing those actions,
like
and
you
like
have
what
to
that person actually wants.
Cater to your partner's language. You can't, and I think a lot of people are guilty of this. I'm guilty of it, Sasha. Like a lot of people, like you're doing what you'd want the other person to do for you, whereas you should be focusing on, okay, what's that person's love languages or whatever, and how can I go out of my way to do that for them.
Question: does that create an imbalance in the relationship? And like I'm thinking out loud here, and like we want to marry, like shit. Okay, never mind. But let's say, for example, last year my girlfriend was able to like do me a nice party, and like for her birthday, even though she didn't ask, like I went above and beyond. I bought a bunch of shit, and like for Christmas, she got me a PS5. But that gave me a reason, and that
where's
gave me
my PS5, Sasha?
I'm tired of this. Where's my?
I'm sorry, Sasha.
Where's
I didn't
my
want
Hermes bag? Where's my earrings?
No, I'm kidding. I don't want a PS5. I'm good. I don't want a PS5.
Hermes.
Yeah, Hermes. Bro, you see what I'm dealing with?
Where's my Birkin bag?
We skipped to like Michael Kors, Coach.
Yeah.
Jack Moss.
Michael Kors? You think I wear Michael Kors? Are you crazy?
Baby says, "B."
I'm joking.
Yo, go one. Like, give me that Rolls Royce.
No, but right now Sasha's coming across like a girl that's like a high maintenance, but she's really not. Like,
yeah, I'm talking shit. I'm really not.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you buy me if you come to my house with Starbucks, that's my love language.
And I did do that.
Exactly.
Shout this. I love this. But yeah. So then afterwards, I'm like, yo, shit. In my head, she got me a PS5. I'm already thinking like, what am I gonna get her back as like a repayment? But that's how I am because I'm like, I like to like make sure the person doesn't feel like used.
Yeah, for sure. You know? With gifts, it's a little tricky because it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit different.
So how does somebody find a balance in a relationship, not to like overdo the person's love languages, but also make sure that like they stick to what they know and what makes them feel good in a relationship. Because for me, seeing the person's reaction when I give them a gift that's like, oh shit, I needed this, or I'm aware of this, I'm like, yo, fam, this is what it's all about. But for some people, like, hold on, I think gifts is harder because I think
I was gonna say with gifts it's hard because
who doesn't want to have a gift? Because even the girls that were the most minimalist that I dated, you give them something that they really want or they never thought they would buy for themselves. Like it is different. Yeah,
like with Chris, it's like if I bought him something that he mentioned he needed, like he would be so happy with that, you know?
Yeah.
It's mostly just like the little like the little thoughtful.
Like she buys me things that she wants me to buy for her. So like she's giving me like a candle. Or like
no, I bought him. Okay, I saw.
Which is like I'm grateful and like cool, but like it's not. I don't need a candle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So she got soccer tickets.
I bought him a baby soccer ball, like a mini soccer ball.
When?
I bought you.
Oh yeah, where the fuck did that ball go? I have no idea where it is.
I got him like I saw a little baby soccer ball and I was like, that's so cute, and he plays with it in his room sometimes. But at first he was like, I don't really need this.
No, I don't know where it is anymore.
But that was like that was like a
that was a very good gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, with gifts it's hard because it's like there's a monetary. I don't know. I think just because the money is involved.
Let me say this, fellas. If you want to do good, there's a subscription. You could go to your local flower shop, get you a subscription at a flower shop. It's $150, so it's $12 a month. Gets you a bunch of bouquets. Get your girlfriend a bouquet of flowers every single month. You could buy the small ones, you could buy the big ones, but it'll cost you under $45 every single month.
That's really cute.
So if you do that,
girl would be happy to.
Yeah,
that is cute. But I think that the girl would at one point take it for granted, or like at one point after a couple of months, she's gonna be like, "Okay, cool." Like,
you see, I don't think girls get tired of flowers.
No.
Really?
No, I disagree.
So not done.
The only thing that could maybe happen negatively is that you're like creating this expectation of like, okay, she's getting flowers every month, but then next year, if you don't continue doing that, she's gonna be like, well, where the fuck are my flowers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or you feel entitled to receiving something because you're getting her flowers, and so you're like, okay, well, where's my thing?
For you,
no, but flowers are like it's kind of cheap. Like not cheap, but it's like not an expensive.
That's what I'm saying, Charl. You see, that's what I'm saying.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Flowers on Valentine's Day and tell me that shit cheap.
No, I didn't mean cheap. They're expensive.
Well, the good flowers, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've bought flowers like when I moved into my new apartment for my mom. Like and I.
No, okay. I'll say not flowers, roses. I'm talking. When I mean flowers, I mean roses. Sorry. So I don't know if that does a difference for
you
people.
said it was $12 a month. Like to me,
if you go to get a subscription, but you pay like $150.
Oh yeah, you're still paying $150 a month. No, but I didn't mean cheap to say that it's not a significant gift. I just
meant like low in monetary value.
Not even that. I just meant like if you buy me flowers, like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I have to go run out and buy Chris like a $20 gift, you know, because it's just flowers. It's not like a birthday gift where I have to go buy.
See that, Charl? Just flowers.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Because like I think flowers are like something that I don't know. I don't even know.
Okay, I'll say this. If I was in a relationship and I bought somebody flowers, that's to hold you accountable. It's not to hold myself accountable. Because if I'm doing my parts.
But see, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's like it's almost like it's a necessity. Like flowers should be given regardless. So it's like
no, I agree with you.
So
I
the
agree
girl
with you.
shouldn't like if you gave me flowers, like if Chris, if you gave me flowers, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, now I need to go buy Chris something, because it's like flowers should be given to
No,
the girl
You
regardless.
just
you shouldn't feel the need, but you should say,
Yeah.
okay, if my performance in everything as a girlfriend was lacking, let me type my shit
Of
together.
course. But I'm talking
You
about
know?
like monetary gifts.
No, not monetary gift, but let's say for
But
example,
there
like
can be other
he has
types of
like
gifts.
a favorite dish,
Yeah,
and
there
you
can
get
be
your
other
flowers.
types
Yo,
of
you gonna
gifts.
go make his dish, you know?
Of
Because I
course.
think people get comfortable in a relationship. Like your relationship goes like a roller coaster. It goes up,
Yeah.
and then it plateaus, and then whatever it is, that's what it stays. So every time you bring in flowers, it gives that little boost
Yeah.
that you need
You have
to.
to keep it a little spicy.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
best
Spice it up, you know?
relationships, I think the best relationships are the ones that go like an exponential graph. Like where it's like very, very, very slow to build up and it's like low, and then eventually just slowly goes up. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
'Cause
agree
like
with you. But most
compared to the
people,
relationships that just go up like this and then eventually like come
Yeah, but I
crashing
feel like
down.
some people haven't experienced that.
yeah, you go. I was about to say because most people cut off a relationship after 30 days if it's
And
not moving.
it's most people like
Mm.
they're so like infatuated with like love and whatever and like
No,
lust.
but
And,
that's what I said. I think the best
yeah.
relationships are those ones, the ones that you don't.
Yeah, where your judgment is not really like clouded, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But before we wrap it up, let's say in the hypothetical world, if we were all single, what is one green flag you would look for, and what is one red flag you would avoid in a relationship in 2022?
One green and one red.
Yeah.
Oh
I
shit!
don't
Give me a
think
second
I've
to think
thought
of
about
a
that.
green
Yeah,
one
because like when
and a
you're in
red
a
one. Oh
relationship, you
shit.
don't really think of these things.
Okay, well, number
'Cause-
one, like a trait that like something that I really like, I guess about Chris, whatever, in general, is like being honest. Because like not a lot of men are honest. Like a lot of people will lie. No, it's so true. A lot of people are really like, even if it's like sometimes the truth you don't want to hear.
Yeah, I'm too
It's
honest though.
it's like I would rather Chris be honest with me about
Mm.
everything than the opposite. And I know some
Yeah.
people that have experienced, you know, their boyfriends lying or whatever, and like that's something that like I think is a green flag. Like if somebody's extremely honest with you from the beginning, I think that's a green flag that I would look forward to. Like if I was single right now, that's something that I would look for. Red flag, let me think about it.
I think we can go around for the green flags.
Yeah,
Charl, do
say
you have
your
one?
green flags first.
Yeah, my green flag is somebody who comes from a good family. Like a woman that
Mm.
comes from a good family,
That's a nice one.
like a nice nuclear family where you look around like, yo, these people make sense. And I don't want to be shallow, but especially if you're somebody who knows where you want to go in life. And I'll give you an example. If you're dating somebody but her whole family comes from like rednecks, but she's the only one that's smart, at some point you'll have to go into communication with those people.
Mm.
So I'm not saying those people have a negative impact on those things, but those judgment plateaus where you're able to think. But if you're coming from somebody with a strong background and everybody's like at a different level, then you're just excelling instead of being, yo, let me grab these people and like try to push everybody.
And it's true, like you pick up the behavior that
There you go.
that you're like brought up with. So
There
I
you
completely agree with that.
Well, that's for me. That's probably a big one that I look for, or that I would look for if I was single.
I can't think of anything.
If you were single right now and like there was a behavior that you saw or like a green flag from someone, like what's something that you would notice that is
Could just say like good teeth, bro. It doesn't have to be like.
Yeah, no, I know.
It could be anything.
Oh, literally good teeth? Oh yeah, we're gonna go
Anything.
with the teeth then. Yeah, let's go. Green flag teeth.
No, come on, like be for real. Like what's something that you would actually look for? I'm still thinking of my red flag though.
Yeah, like I don't know, like a respectable, like someone who respects themselves, I guess. Like
What does respect yourself mean?
what?
Oh, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer
what does
that.
respect yourself mean? No, but that doesn't have to be something that's degrading.
No, but
That's
it's
not what
not
you
even,
meant, right?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah, elaborate.
okay, no, it's not even, no, it's not even like that. It's like you hold yourself to a certain standard where oh no, not even like that. No.
But in what sense? Like in their life, in their career?
Yeah, like everything really, because like that's what I'm saying. It's not really like you guys are thinking about. It's like literally everything. Like you just hold yourself to a certain standard where
yeah, that's reasonable because like there are people in life that will just
where you expect the same thing back basically, or like and yeah, I don't know. You just like don't. I'm so bad at this. I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. But we just
have
have
good
to clarify because we don't want somebody to clip it
No.
and then
It's
it goes
not like
viral
that.
for the wrong reason.
Yeah, they're
No,
gonna be
it's
like,
like
"What? You're slut shaming?"
Yeah, there you go.
no. Have like
No, but that's not what you meant.
if you respect
no.
yourself, then you can respect others, and vice versa. If you can respect others, you can respect yourself.
It's true. Like you have to give yourself the love that you want to receive, and if
That's what I'm
somebody's
saying. Like someone
beating
who's fully
themselves and yeah,
respectful and happy with themselves. It's not even like. But you guys thought about that. I wasn't even thinking.
Yo, because the way you describe it,
it's just the key words. Like
Yeah, I
those
kept
keywords
like
are
digging.
so
Yeah,
used,
yeah.
like so like commonly used with
I
another.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I like my girls bad and bougie, man. But my red flag is. Woo. Okay, I'll say this. I think the older I get, the more privacy I want in my life. Yeah, like privacy in every aspect of my life. So I don't know. Like I think at some point I'm just gonna go ghost on social media and just live my life. But a red flag for me is somebody who always exposing their life. Like if your highlights on Instagram or your stories are this small, that means you post too much. And I can't be around somebody who you see every dish they eat, every errands they do. Like I need somebody.
What if it's their job? What if they're like trying to become an influencer?
Yeah, but if I was saying I wouldn't be an influencer. like for me.
Understandable. But aren't you trying to become technically an influencer with your page?
No, I stopped that shit.
Yeah, you're an influencer, Charl.
I stopped that shit. Like for me, I want to be.
You're basically an influencer.
I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich and unknown. That's what I want to be wealthy as fuck.
Yeah, I think that's the goal.
Okay, but what if your girl had like a similar page that was like
I wouldn't. I don't have. I'll say this. I have more of an attraction for people who have time on their hands, and like I know the effort it takes to have what we have, and like constantly be on the go. And like for me, I need somebody who balances me out. So I'm attracted to somebody who has the complete opposite. If you have the complete opposite, I'm more attracted to it because it gives me a balance instead of like being on it every single day. Because I already have like a 24/7. This is like 24/7 times 2. Because I'm taking on your problems, I'm taking on my problems. So I'm dealing with like basically doing 48 hours in a day. So having somebody who's not involved with that aspect of it, not saying that you guys know me. Like for me, like if I'm with someone, like my goal is to have them involved in a certain portion of what I do, but I don't want them to be involved with the day to day like that. If that makes sense.
I get it.
What's your red flag, Sasha?
Okay, I'm gonna sound really judgmental right now, but I thought about it, and like something that always is like something that I think about or like I see someone doing that makes me just like so the opposite of attracted, like disgusted almost, is when people post themselves like smoking on their stories.
Smoking ones, weed, cigars, hookah,
any of them. I guess okay, we're talking about weed and cigarettes. Like honestly, like if somebody like to me, if somebody is like smoking and they're posting on their stories and they're drinking every night and like smoking cigarettes, to me that's a red flag because I'm just like I'm not trying to deal with somebody that has problems and that's letting these substances control their lives. And like I've had to deal with that, not with like a partner but just in general with like friends, and like I've seen people have like dealing with these things and like using these substances to like block out their life basically. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm sorry, but imagine that's your partner. There's no way. Like I'm sorry. And it sounds like I'm being so judgmental. I'm not even like, for people that smoke once in a while, do your thing. But if you're letting it control your life and like that's your actual life, I that's a red flag to me. I'm like I just wouldn't be able to be with someone that's like that. At all.
No, but that's real. That's real.
You want to say something?
No, I was just about to say, yo, the biggest green flag is somebody's eating habits and diets. Because I fuck my green flag.
That's what I meant too by respect yourself. Like you put good things inside of you.
Guys, for me, it's like if you can't come to the gym with me because you just don't go to the gym.
That's what I'm saying. Like you do good things for yourself.
Not even like the gym. If your pH balance is off because you fucking eat shit and you smoke it, like fuck that. Like fucking eat your yogurts, have a smoothie, have a juice, this and that. But like people don't take care of their bodies. And then people forget like you are what you eat. So if you eat shit, you are shit. So
it's that about food.
And it's like, how can you be surrounded by somebody that's always like, if that's your goal to eat healthy and to try to like protect your body, and the person that's next to you 24/7 is doing the opposite, it's like you don't want to have that type of energy next to you. It's the same thing with alcohol and weed and everything. So I guess food can fit into that too, and like exercise. But it's just like you want to be surrounded by somebody that has the same goals as you, and like if your goal is to go smoke weed every day and party, do your thing. You know, I don't even care what other people are doing. But for me, I can never have someone next to me that's doing that.
Yeah. So my red flag has to do with food, because I need someone who can cook, bro. If you don't know how to cook, we're gonna die together. Like, we are gonna die. So
yeah, that's a fact.
Like, but when you say cook, because I know people have like, because when I hear cook, for me, like I think my grandmother, I think my mom, like you need to be able to like gather the whole family and we eat and feast.
Oh, I see. No, it's not even like that.
I could just make like a fucking one spaghetti, 2 eggs, and that's all. I need you to have a recipe book. If you don't have a recipe book, then
and I need the person, like, it's a red flag if the person is not ready and willing to like feed me, basically, or like make food for me. I don't know how that sounds, but like, because I can't, like, I can cook, I can like do certain things, but like, I can't cook.
Oh my god!
I'll have to explain this one so we don't fucking get canceled on this shit.
You know what I did for Chris? Like one of the first things I did for Chris. One time he texted me and he's like, "Hey, I'm hungry," and this was like really early on in the relationship. And I was like, "Do you want me to get you something from the vending machine?" And so I swear that's why we ended up together. It's because I bought him food.
Well, shout out. They say, was it a way to a man's heart is through his stomach?
Bro, now that he said that, I'm like, that's exactly why.
Yo, but I'll say this, especially in this generation, the sexiest thing a woman could do is do a fucking amazing dish, because it separates you so much more from the pack, you know? So,
yeah, bro.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Especially, it's different from when you have, or when you're trying to get big money, because your time becomes more valuable.
But that's what I'm saying too.
That's you have to explain it, because like if you're having a 9 to 5, you split the bills 50-50. Like I'm like, yo, whoever cooks. But if you're the one who wants to take on the bills and you want to make bigger amount of money, that 2 hour, that 30 minutes it takes you to cook, it's probably like a couple $100 wasted because you were trying to make something to eat, you know? So when you think of it like that, I get your point of view.
What if you guys just buy meal preps?
I know
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, same. I've tried meal preps before, and I just can't eat it. It's so hard to eat other people's food.
Yeah. So sometimes Sasha makes me like meal preps, and
maybe I'm traditional, but I like coming home. Yeah, this is gonna sound very traditional, but like knowing that somebody made homemade food just is.
It's because you grew up with that way, and like
100%. You know, like I'm used to my mom being home, and then my dad coming home, and then like
that's it.
We eat around. Even my mom
together at the table.
Yeah, my mom had 9 to 5. She I don't know how she did it, but she was able to raise 3 kids, make food, etc., clean, etc. But I think that too, like those are the values that I value the most, because those are the ones that are leaving quickly.
Yeah, and if you see that in your mother as well, like that's something you grew up with, it makes sense that that's what you look for in your partner.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out to that. But at the same time too, that's why being intentional when you date is, I think that's probably the best thing you could do.
Yeah, a lot of people jump into things like just because they have nowhere else to go or whatever, and it's like sometimes you like it's like these people go into a relationship knowing that it's not going to work, or knowing that this person is not for them.
Yeah, it's like,
I think you reach a point when it's like, I make sense, you make sense, and the person might be right for you in the moment.
Yeah,
but it might not be right for you long term, and you know that. Like at the end of the day, I think most relationships, you look at each other like, okay, we've been together X amount of time. What are we doing? Are we moving forward, or are we?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people are just stuck with each other because it was so long.
Yeah. A lot of people get like blinded by that, or not even blinded, comfortable. A lot of people get comfortable, and then they don't even realize that, like, or it's like, because bro, sometimes if you imagine being single right now, or like during COVID, imagine being single during COVID. Like a lot of people, there were stories of people that were like staying in relationships just because of COVID.
And a lot of people were gonna be homeless if they left their
exactly. And a lot of people like ran out to go find boyfriends peak COVID because they were like, oh my god, I don't want to be alone.
But I'll say
so many people got cuffed up early COVID.
But that was probably the best time to get in a relationship. When I mean that is because when you realize the world might end, all the other things that we care about, how many followers you have on IG, how much money you have in the bank account, this and that, are out the window. It's basic survival. It's who is going to make me survive until 80, 90 years old. All the other shit that we care about, your shoes, this and that, go out the window. So I think that's probably.
But it's like, my question is, are these genuine relationships? Were they just looking for anyone?
But I think is that during COVID, you didn't. Well, let's say for Canada when we had like lockdowns, you didn't have a restaurant, this and that. So the conversation you had with the person had to be interesting enough that the person kept you captivated, because it wasn't like you were distracted by a date. You couldn't go to a restaurant. Even if you were going to a restaurant, you had a
true. Maybe it was more personal. They were really more personal together, and that's why maybe. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
Because for me, well, I got in a relationship during COVID, and like for me, like
oh really? It was
COVID. Well, so it like COVID for like 5 years. So the amount of time we spent really getting to know each other, like once we like the pandemic, or not pandemic, but the urgent cases of the pandemic left, it's like, okay, well, if we were able to survive a fucking global pandemic, the rest of life is gonna be pretty easy.
Very good.
You know, so that's how I see it. So I did the hard shit at the beginning. Like a lot of people have like the honeymoon phase in the beginning, and then it goes down. I have the opposite, where I had the tough parts at the beginning, and now like everything else.
That's what I said. Like this.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I see. That's why I'm in a winning relationship. So shout out to that.
Shout out to her. And
yeah,
guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. This was a great episode.
Oh, a good episode.
I never did the intro, but yeah, it happens.
Oh, you're right. I literally forgot.
Sometimes it's better like that. But anyways, yeah. Thank you guys for watching Untold Gems. Leave us your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you next week.